All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kenneth, and this is That's Well Play. So finally, we have the time to go back to some of the key matches and to actually walk through what did happen in the top 8. Having a chit chat with one of our judges right here. That's Andre Ang. Let's welcome Andre.
Hi, hello, Kenneth.
And first and foremost, let's hear from Andre that from your point of view, from the judges' point of view, how did the national Singapore went?
Judging the nationals, I would say the event ran rather smoothly. Definitely there were some hiccups here and there. But overall, I see the competitive level of players here at the nationals, and we see quite a lot of very interesting decks around. Even your basic heroes such as your Odins and your Icelanders, most Singaporean players have their own take on how the hero should play, and we've seen some very interesting interactions, which gave us, even the judges, a headache during the tournament.
So when we say headache, it's actually interesting interaction, right?
Yeah, it's probably some interactions that you never thought before. You probably have the answer to it, but you in your mind you might be thinking, oh, exactly where in the comprehensive rules are we supposed to direct the players to? I think that was part of the bit of a challenge over there. Yeah.
All right.
I personally have not watched any of the top 8 games because I was busy with the other PTI tournaments. I do heard that these two Iyslander here in the top 8 have some very interesting tech that was similar to one the champion deck that was played in the US Nationals.
Yes,
with some of their own twists. Yeah, I'm very excited to check out what Chu Heng and his opponent have here for us.
Yep. Okay, I am able to watch this firsthand. I was just right beside both players. It is really interesting, especially when you see they exchange very massive blows that actually just blew up each other's equipment. But I think before that, let's not just spoil the game. All right, so let's just start with one of the quarterfinals, which is two Iyslander mirror match. That we have by now is actually a 12-0 player. That's Chu Heng going against Rif Chia. All right, so both players playing Iyslander. So you can see the life total here. It's both 36. And let's begin the game. I believe Chu Heng is the one kickstarting the game. So he chooses to go
first.
Yes, correct. All right. A firm handshake.
The old matchup was all about setting up bot state, whoever has the frost hexes, serious choose. But I'm pretty sure this is not the game plan that we're looking at right now.
Yeah. So I think it's a norm for Iyslander Mirror to have a AB5 for now, at least in Singapore. So yeah, as you can see that both actually changed their headpiece to a Naurun hood.
I saw a Fendel's Fighting Spirit, not sure which color, Aether's Hail, Chalic Frigid, and a Cold Snap.
So very interesting first hand actually.
I'm more curious of what he's aiming to put in his arsenal. Probably the Cold Snap.
But usually the faster the setup, it's better, right? I mean, that's the usual way to play Iyslander.
Yes. Definitely he'll be throwing that.
So he's switching away.
Yeah. That's actually quite good because the Iyslander, the Reef is unable to respond at this juncture because he does not have an arsenal card, which means Reef have to go into his turn 1, being pressured to actually use the Chalic Frigid. So these two reds, probably the arsenal card is that Cold Snap from earlier.
Yeah, I think so.
With Aether Hill meeting the conditions of Chalic Frigid to maintain it on the field.
Yep. So now we have Reef respawn, on his turn, laying out the Insidious Chill.
Just a setup.
And then our Chu Heng respawn from the arsenal.
He paid 4 to do it, past the Chalic Frigid.
He decided not to.
probably
did.
have to maintain that channel frigid on his next turn, so probably thinking needs to pitch two ices.
All right. So Chu Heng let it resolved. In Cedar Shield, it's saved.
Passing his turn.
Yep.
You can't really see Leaf's hands from here. But you can see Chu Heng's one pretty clearly.
Yeah, pretty clearly. He's not hiding anything though, so that's his play style though. So we have E Strike coming at 5 and go again, I believe. Yep.
He has yet to resolve though, so I'm not sure which he chose. Either draw card or go again.
So now it's the window for Rift to respond. I think I saw either a snatch or yeah.
That's a very interesting take on the snatch.
Okay, in response. Oh, with a cold snap.
Waiting for him. I'm not sure Chu Heng lets that frostbite resolves. Because
Yeah.
he can react before the frostbite resolves.
Yeah.
Especially he don't need to pay for any additional resources for playing his next card.
But he still has to be mindful of.
I don't think he can do that.
Okay, so he's paying for the cold snap.
No, he's paying for the
All
cold
right.
snap to block the freezing.
So the frostbite did went through.
Now he's facing 5. Reef is facing 5.
Yep. So I believe seeing Chu Heng's hand pitching Fiendo's Fighting Spirit, playing out E Strike, as we can see, it's pretty much like you said, inspired by Michael Hamilton, the muscle-mage build.
Or the battle mage, you call it in Singapore. Similar concepts. There's a blizzard.
Yeah, there's a blizzard, so that caused another frostbite too.
Not too sure if he wants to cast frostbite at this moment because he ran Chu Heng's hand down. Probably more for the frostbite.
Alright, but Chu Heng is still paying for it.
Chu Heng has no hand anymore. Very interesting because Reef have to pay through that Channel Frigid.
Yep. And now
with that, 2 ice cards are off Chu Heng's hand, so the next turn Channel Frigid is probably not gonna stay.
But is it also the reason why that he's pitching away because he's trying to save it?
That's true. Oh yeah, now it's Chu Heng's turn. So he's pitched enough to maintain that Channel Frigid.
So it's pretty tricky actually. If you're asking an Iyslander to pay for something like this, it actually gives them the opportunity to do so to keep the Channel Lake Frigid alive.
It's probably a game-changing turn for Reef because he's locked down by that Channel Lake Frigid for like 2 turns.
Decision.
Still 1 resource remaining.
Correct.
And if I'm not wrong, it was a cold snap in his arsenal.
So for Rift, it's okay. So he has to take that 5.
The go again did not resolve, I believe.
Yep.
So he couldn't play the cold snap as well.
Okay.
Now it's Reef's turn. Still has a cold snap in the arsenal.
And now the Channel Lake Frigid still stays. All right. Interesting.
Paying through that Channel Lake Frigid. 2 resource remaining. Going for 8.
Wow.
That's a big blow.
Do you think it's worth it?
Really worth it because two resource there still blocks out Arcane from Chu Heng. Going for 8 is a very big blow if Chu Heng chooses to take this damage. I guess this is the power of the muscle-mage.
Yeah, and now Chu Heng is cutting 2.
6
all right,
taking 2.
Yep, down to 34. So interesting. We're now seeing each other like exchanging physical damage rather than having arcane damage flying around. Another physical.
This time around, he does not gain any health though, because his life is small. And
Correct.
when building the muscle-mage, a lot of people are looking at cards that specifically reads when you have lower life than your opponent. Maybe
Mm.
some other cards that were unused were like, I guess, Life or Life.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them I saw run Star
Scar.
for Star.
Correct.
And Pound for Pound, I mean,
Mm.
I
Really?
believe that there are some other cards which reads that if you have lower
Which
health,
benefits
yeah.
from having a lower life?
I mean, Icelanders probably are the better ones to utilize this because they do start off with a lower health than their opponent.
Yep. Might as well take that as an advantage.
Yes, definitely.
But now Chuang is still giving out 7 blows.
7. If Reef chooses not to block here,
Mm.
you go down to 24.
But now Reef has no arsenal.
If I were
So
here, I probably would look for blocks here.
mm. So maybe the first turn exchanges kind of like already destined.
Do you feels that destroy
Yes,
an
yes,
element?
he did, he
Oh,
did.
and to trigger Insidious Chill as well.
And now there goes the Storm Strider. Huh. Oh, because exposed to the elements is an instant.
Ice, yeah, it's an instant, so you can play it from hand. Oh,
Wow.
that's a pretty important card going into the mirror
All
match.
right. That's pretty
With
early. That's turn 3.
with the Insidious setup, it takes away one card from Join's hand.
Yep. And now the very important Storm Strider is it's gone. See?
So 3.
Now blocking 3, taking 4.
4.
Mm. I think their build is almost the same because Rift is also blocking with a Enlightened Strike.
Constellars is a very interesting pick here because previously, if you were not a muscle mage,
Mm. It makes perfect
Stella's
sense.
actually, yeah. But now you have the muscle mage mirror matchup. It's a bit weird.
All right. So finally the cold snap went through. He has
He
been
has not.
awesome.
Was that his arsenal? Is that
Yes.
Reeves' arsenal? Yeah.
Yes.
So he probably froze it. Now pitching to gain. Yeah, that's where the Constellars come into play.
Yeah. That's the gain from blocking and arcane damage. Oh,
the return.
Wow.
The return.
There you go.
Return the favor.
Yes. With both Iyslander now without boots. This is very interesting. So no one can kind of like, giving each other surprises.
In fact, with a Wonderful for probably 6 now. Yeah. No
So
additional
this is
boost.
truly a muscle competition now.
I have never seen them deal arcane so far. I mean,
Yes. Not yet.
Chui tried to do so, but blocked off by the Constellars.
Yeah, correct. So that was just because cold snap going into a waning moon.
There goes.
And now Scar for Scar coming from Rift.
Looking at the board state, I would not say it's very beneficial for Reef at this moment.
Hmm.
It's 20, 34, 14 health is a lot of health.
Yeah. Especially Rift, besides the Insidious Chill, there's not much setup per se.
I would say the same for Chui because you don't see any much setups.
Hmm.
But that dual expose is probably.
I think it's one of the highlights. It's like, just going through one turn, both players lose Storm Strikers.
Wow, this is a very big turn for him, presenting 8 damage after a Scar for Scar.
So that was 12 damage presented in one turn. It's pretty huge for the Iyslander though.
Wow, he take the full 8.
The full blow.
I guess that's his advantage. Like, dude, I have 14 health more than you. Come at me, bro.
So now, okay, so setting up energy potion.
Probably trying to nuke him with a waning moon again after playing this.
That's quite true.
Energy potion.
That's quite true.
Because if not so, if he just wants to Arsenal and cut, previously he would have locked one cut.
Mm.
Yeah, I think he's looking for a winning moon right here.
I know it is very tricky. The energy potion that does not necessarily go into eternal ice eternal. Now it could mean anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Also
now
with the frost hex.
that will cause 1 frostbite if it resolves.
Rift's game plan here is seemingly going for that frost hex insidious combo.
And hopefully the ice eternal come timely.
Or should we just go straight up in your face? Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So instead of winning, he used it to
collect one counter. Yeah, all right.
Not too bad, not too bad.
I would have I would have winning moon though.
No, it depends what Reef does. Reef just set up a frost hex which gave him a frostbite. I think Chewing doesn't want to take damages and wants to gain the counters on the stallion, so he probably just chose to block that.
That's quite true. When you can play the winning moon for free, then why waste a card?
Yeah, it is a game-changing moment when you have the 2 counters on your Peruvian. Yeah, that could mean the finishing blow.
True.
At any point of time, you're looking at 2 to 3 damage coming into you. When your opponent has no resource, you could just simply play an energy potion and use the Constellars to build in at the late game.
Yep. And that will pay through any frostbite if there's any. So it's very interesting.
3. So frostbite 1, winning moon 2. That essentially frostbite does nothing there.
Okay, now enlightened strike coming from Reef. That's 5.
Probably going for a draw a card.
Go again. Oh, draw a card. Yeah, could be. So let's see how.
He has 1 card in his hand. He has no floating resources. 5. If it was a go again, any frostbite would be very harmful to him.
Correct.
I'll probably go for.
Oh, that's a polar blast.
Blast. When played for Arsenal, draw a card.
And creating a frostbite.
So that's the point. If you see here, if you pick go again, you get that frostbite. He probably has not enough resources to play the card in his hand right now.
Okay.
So I do believe he may pick draw a card.
Draw a card. Yeah. Okay.
There's 2 counters on the Lubian ready to go.
Alright.
Rocket.
But nope, Reef chose not to win. He chose a card.
Pick draw a card. Yeah. If he had floating resources, he probably would have went for the go again. But I think he anticipated some reactions of Chuhei and decided to draw a card so that he does have a card to put in the arsenal. Even if it's a red, it's something good that you want to put in your arsenal so that you can play on your turn the next turn.
Yeah. I think the mentality for Iyslander players has changed. It doesn't necessarily to make it always to arsenal a blue.
No. Sometimes you arsenal that Candle Fighting Spirit. So when it comes to your turn, you can play it out with a blue in hand.
Yep. So now it's Chu Heng's turn to set up the Frost Hex.
Yeah. At this juncture, we have no idea what is Reef's arsenal.
With just 3 health points away.
Could it really be a blue card though?
It is! Amethyst Coding!
It's going in for...
It's actually a very clever card to include.
If he's going for 4?
For 4, yes. And if, let's see. It is a 4.
Chewing has 2 cards in hand. He probably use 1 to pitch and 1 to arsenal. Let's see. He has no more cards in hand.
Okay, so he chooses to block the arcane. That will gain 1 more counter. Okay, both players with... Oh, okay, and there you go. Rift choose to release the counter and Winning Moon.
For 2. For 3.
For 3. Yep. So Chu Hanks took the 3
Oh,
down to
you
19.
see, that's where the tide is turning because now Chu Heng is having lower health.
Mm.
And his wounded boost or his Fatal Fighting Spirit has hit. I only seen he pitched one Fatal Fighting Spirit and played one. So he probably
Mm.
still has one more. Not sure what other cards Chu Heng runs in his deck. I think
But it
he
also
runs
shows that
Wounded
the dangerous part of setting up is you have to take some blue. Each
Yeah, he
player
got
while they were
7,
setting
right?
up. Yeah.
While they were setting up, they have to take some damage.
Yep.
On. Well, that was a pretty straightforward turns. No players have Arsenal. So they can just play like a normal turn. With Reef going for 7. Strike. Stand.
Cap. Okay, forgive my very poor camera setup. Let's focus on the game. All right, so we're now at 18 Chu Heng, 20 Reef. It's Chu Heng's turn.
Train just took 1 damage from that strike.
Hmm.
Now it's Reef's turn. I see another expose the elements.
Ha!
Oh gosh, gotta play that.
To include 2.
Oh,
I would
Insidious.
suspect just
That's a very great turn because if the Insidious pops when you play the expose,
ah.
it triggers 2 Insidious and Train may be forced to drop his hand. He's not able to Arsenal.
Having 2 Insidious Chill in the battlefield, it's very scary.
At this stage, Reef probably had a better boss state.
Hmm.
2 Insidious Chills and 1 Frost Hex.
Oh,
There
get
you go.
exposed. All right, fused.
That's 2.
It triggered 2 Insidious
2
Chill.
Insidious Chills.
All right.
4 card
Paying
hand.
4 or discard 2. But what will Reef take away?
I suspect he will take out his Alluvian.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
I'm not too sure if Alluvian has a defense value though. I believe so.
Beveland has.
In order for you to trigger expose to elements,
It has to be 0, right?
it has to be a 0 defense.
Let me just double check.
So he responded to the first Insidious, responded to the second Insidious by paying.
Paying both.
Then yeah, and
paying for expose.
Yeah, expose resolves. Not destroy it.
Oh, actually, Olivian Constellus has no block value.
Yeah,
So it is very possible to be the target. All right, train down to 70.
No more active values. I guess there was no more active values out there. That no more legal targets for the
For the exposed to elements. Okay, pitching a hypothermia, playing out Ice Vein for 5 fused. This can be very scary if it is played by Reef, having 2 Insidious Chill on the board.
Practically wipes out Chewing's hand.
Yeah. 4 card hand with 1 arsenal.
I guess our background pictures are not very suitable for this match. This is an Iyslander matchup, and we have
too fiery. Too fiery.
Yeah.
Well, then it doesn't suit the whole meta then. Okay, so I think both players set up a AB5. It's all because of Ice Vein and Ice Bolt.
Yeah, but they do have only AB3 left, I believe. Because both of their Storm Striders will be taken up.
Correct.
So he's not gonna be able to full block this in Ice.
So now what's running through Reef Mine is actually to manage the resources. All right.
Cost of 3 and takes 2. Oh,
He's
take
taking 3.
Yep.
And pay for not discarding.
That's probably a yellow ice vein.
Okay. We
Yeah,
can't
because
see very clearly.
yeah, he only used 1 resource. The 2 resource remaining. That's probably a yellow ice vein. Not the one, not the red one.
Not the red. Okay. So now it's Rift's turn.
Reef again is on the lower health.
Setting up another very powerful equipment. Another item.
Yeah, nice.
So
Amulet
any
of Ice is an instant. So any point of time Chewing tries to leave and finally Amulet of Life can be triggered.
Yep. So now let's trigger 2 Insidious Chill at the moment.
And the Brain Freeze as well.
Brain Freeze.
And one card go back to the top. Alright, pretty nice.
It'll be interesting to see what Rift chooses.
No, but I believe it was a blue Brain Freeze. So blue Brain Freeze, you can only pick something that is 0 cost.
0.
Yeah. So
which is Frost Hex.
showing
No, that's 3 and Wounded Bull it's 2, I believe.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he wouldn't be able to pick one to go back to.
Gosh.
Yep. It has to be a red one.
So I think
Don't you make the very smart decision to pitch those with the lower cost?
Oops. Too excited. The Waning Moon. Paying 2. Taking. Yeah. No, just block 2. Oh.
And he chose to pop off that Amulet of Ice, forcing Chewing to either discard 1 or pay 2 of it. Using the one from the.
Alright. So Chewing probably will just play out the Fiendo Fighting Spirit, I believe. Yep.
There's a Wonder Bull.
Oh no, Wonder Bull,
That's
sorry.
6, coming in for 6, because he still has higher health.
Yep. Oh, it's a 7.
Oh yeah, 7. Plus 1 is 7. Potential 8.
So does player actually tends to play out whatever card that is revealed? It's like so naked. It's like, oh, you know what? You know the hand
I wouldn't want my opponent to know what is in my hand going to his turn. Not even one. Yeah, I guess it's valid that I want to play out the card that my opponent sees.
So Brain Freeze does has its effects though. But you can also play a mind game though, right? It's like, hey, I have something here very powerful.
7.
7. Do you think this will be the build for Iyslander going to WoW?
I guess so, because traditionally Icelanders, if you go by the full mage build, I don't think you have enough damage. It's not as explosive as KO. There's some high damaging. I mean, 2 for 6, 2 for 7. It's pretty good options right there. Coming to the worst meta, we might see people build on this concept and introduce some form of physical damage.
Yeah.
Maybe there are better choices. Not too sure.
But I think the inclusion of either Ice Vein and maybe Ice Bolt is still value.
Probably would still put those ice cards that blocks for 3 inside an arsenal. Yeah, those are pretty valuable cards. Polar Blast and Cold Steps are very good options, because essentially you do not use a card, you just create Frostbite for free.
Yep.
And because you draw back a card.
Exactly. And I don't see Insidious Chill going away. So the disruption from Iyslander is still pretty real.
Yeah, Frost Hex is essentially a block tree these days.
Exactly.
Most of the time you see them use Frost Hex to pitch, Frost Hex to block.
Wow, to block with Ether Ice Vein Raid.
Reef is choosing to go down right to 12, taking a huge
Hmm.
blow for the window pool.
Alright. Drawback up. Rift's turn. Oh, he has another one. Okay.
Nice. And there's another Insidious Chill.
Hmm.
I believe that is all his charges for now. He still
Yep.
has one Insidious he hasn't played though.
Yep. So in terms of setting up, I think Rift is pretty much done
He has probably
unless
ran off his board
yeah,
state.
unless the game is long enough for his second cycle.
Probably will. Maybe when you see Chu Heng's third Fendel Fighting Spirit. That was the first card he pitched.
But now,
So,
see,
that's
Chu Heng treasure his counter on the Constellus. Pretty much, there's 4 counter on it now.
a chance to blow it up. I mean, saving the Constellus for the late game is probably a pretty good choice.
Hmm.
That late game, you want pressure, you want Force Reef to block the Arcane.
Okay, now both players at 12. Going to Chu Heng's turn.
Yep.
Chu Heng pitching away Ether Ice Vein, setting up another Frost Hex. Ooh!
Rather play the Force Light because it's on H's turn. He has a chance to respond.
Yep.
I believe Chu Heng will go for the Waning with Moon this turn, put some pressure on the Reef's hands.
Yeah, it makes sense because
But that would give Reef another counter.
yeah,
Opens up
which
his
he has won.
Constellus.
Yeah.
See what they do.
But I think it still makes sense to actually just swing the Waning Moon at this turn because
It does.
yeah, it felt always sucky that while setting up then you can do nothing. Or you can't pressure your opponent as much.
Definitely.
So if you're watching this and you're going to Worlds, this is some matches that you probably might have to face.
Iyslander wannabe.
Yeah,
Probably need a lot of practice.
exactly. Because even though there's more and more physical damage going into the deck, but still you still have to make very crucial choices how to play out all the cards. Okay, so now Chu Heng has 2 Frost Hacks set up on Rift's board.
Force Hexes. Going for the big icy turtle turn.
Could be.
Probably is not heavy.
And probably all wizards has to get used to there's no Storm Strider on your board. Even though under Classic Constructed is untouched. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Since Storm
That's a
Strider is
crack.
now banned in
Yeah.
Blitz.
I believe there's a Heart of Kindle sign.
Yeah.
As a proxy for Chewing because his deck was full of non-foils.
Ah,
That card
alright.
could have been marked as a mark card if he did not ask for a proxy.
I see.
So for players out there, probably a good thing to know. If your cards and you only have one card that is foil, and you do not have choice because there is no non-foil Heart of Windows right out there. Do seek the head judge permission to use a proxy. Yep. If not, during the deck checks, you may or may not face some issues. Good spot is that try to use non-foil decks
Mm.
when you go to a professional level tournament,
All
because
right.
the thing about foil cards is that they sometimes they do bend,
Mm.
they do crease and things like that, and you do not want the judge to be coming over and telling you that you have a marked card and issue you a penalty for that.
Mm.
So it's best that I recommend players try as much as possible for professional tournaments
Mm.
to use
Non-foil.
non-foul cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
and seek the judge's proxy if you do have cards that are unavailable in the non-foil
Mm.
version. Yeah.
I think for such tournaments, it's not a place to flex. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the values that we judges want to promote is equity, education, and mission. But in the event where there is a professional level REL, uh,
Mm.
things like education definitely take a back step. Yeah,
Mm.
the focus there is on mission as well as the equity.
Yep. Yep. So having most of the cards, you do have a non-foil version, except for the fables. So, yeah.
Means having a hard time deciding whether to take that 7 damage. That's quite given to me.
So what we
See an
can see
ice
here,
eternal. Yeah, I do see
exactly.
an ice eternal.
So we have the Heart of Fiendo, Ice Eternal. I think that's a hypothermia, if I'm not wrong, and E-Strike. So Enlightened Strike going into
It's
Okay,
blocking.
it's blocking.
Blocking with the ice eternal as well. Keeping
Wow.
that. Is that hypothermia?
Yeah, it's a hypothermia. Interesting. Saving the hypothermia.
Probably an ice cut though.
Hmm.
Hypothermia pitch hard to winning mode.
Okay, he's pitching the
Oh
heart.
no, they hit the hill.
Oh, Ether Hill.
Yeah, so it
Ooh.
pushes one up. It's going for 2 damage. Arsoning that hypothermia pastry tries another scar for scar.
Mhm.
Things like that.
Makes sense.
I mean, the only card that has go again is probably
Scar for Scar.
Lightning
And
Strike
Electric Strike.
and Lightning Strike. But I think I seen Reeve play 2 Enlightened Strikes. I didn't count that precisely.
Let's see.
The first one he picked a go get,
Yes, the
and
second
the
one he
second one
chose
he
to
picked
pop up to
the draw a
7.
card. So there was one he drew. Oh, he drew a card.
Mm.
Then the second one he go for 7.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm not too sure. Maybe he still has one more Enlightened Strike.
So we're now at turn 8. And I didn't see Chu Heng running Scar for Scar. So probably the hypothermia is actually for Reef's Scar for Scar.
Yeah. Or just for that frostbite.
Mm. But he now balanced the health at 12, so no one gains any benefit from Scar for Scar.
If Reeve chooses to take this damage,
Mm.
and it'll be
Ah.
lower. If he has, actually no, I don't see the cards. I see the Emeritus Clothing, Chalik Frigid.
Mm.
Not sure what's that last card. It looked like a generic card.
Oh. So both players facing hard choices now.
It were a Fendel Fighting Spirit. It's probably for him to take the damage.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because it's
but
just
we
2.
do know what is coming next.
Ah, setting up another Insidious Chill.
Waning Moon is coming. Responding to the creature of Frostbite, he triggers his Alluvian.
Mm.
He wasted 2 resources as well.
So Chu Heng will be waning
That's
in a
his
while.
last Insidious Chill.
Yep, yep.
Next cost of waning is reduced by 3. Probably punch through that Frostbite. Anything that adds compass,
Mm.
then anything that reduces the cost comes next.
I see.
So waning is cost. Yep, essentially
It's costing
reduced
3, yeah, but it's free anyway.
reduced by 3.
Correct.
It's increased by 1 to 3, then it's reduced by 3 to 0.
Mm.
So Chuang still has 2 resources, just in case Reef decides to waning him. So I believe that was a good play to trigger off that Alluvian.
Yep, yep.
If he it out, so he wouldn't even have enough resources to go for the raid.
So it is both offensive and defensive.
Yes. Just have a casual floating tool to deal with your arcane.
All right, so one more counter up on Reef's Oblivion.
Reese is thinking whether to blast him back with waiting now.
He can. He chooses
does
not to. Yeah, save it for later. So now building up counters on the Aurelian. Here goes. There is really a Scar for Scar waiting.
And the hypothermia is
Wow.
oh.
Seeing from this part of the game, it's interesting. But both players. So Chu Heng has the upper hand because he anticipates this card coming true.
Pretty sure he put it there.
Purposely.
Maybe he counted his cards, but the chances of the Scar for Scar coming out right at this exact time probably not that high.
Okay, so all the counter on the Aurelian Constellas is gone.
It's probably a game changing hypothermia right there. Yeah, see.
Could be. Oh.
Yeah, it's a game changing hypothermia.
And there goes that Chinelic Frigid back to the bottom of the deck. We might not see it anymore.
And Reeve does not have an arsenal this turn.
Oh gosh. And now he has to face a 7 damage E-strike.
Just casual 7.
No, it's not casual at all.
Casual 7.
Because it's almost deadly. Reeve is now having 8 health points.
Casual 7.
It is so interesting to see how Iyslander evolve.
Yeah.
Ever since her appearance from Everfest.
At the start, it was not much ice cards to begin with. The only playable ones, I believe, was Winter's Fight.
Yep.
There wasn't even close there. So a lot of builds that time as Blitz, people are playing more of a somewhat an explosive hero with a things like that. Character Scolding, I believe, was a T card.
Yes.
With Eternal Fire.
And Fire Breathing was the thing.
Not like Eternal Fire block.
Yeah.
It's not possible to do.
Yep. Pretty hard.
Yeah.
But we do have something similar because Ice Eternals, some sort, in some ways, is actually fire breathing in arcane form.
I think fire breathing. I played on online recently. I believe I saw a fire breathing Iyslander. That was pretty damn clutch. No blocks. I pitched 3 blues. Add another 9 damage.
Yeah. It can be very explosive.
Just a casual fire breathing from the arsenal, and then I'll just pitch all.
It's scary. It will take the opponent off the chair.
I mean to block or not to block. You never know.
Okay, so that's blocking 5, taking 2.
That was 6. With an arsenal card. And Reeve is probably gonna pass, just gonna end his turn. Yeah, he's definitely on the back foot.
Because at this point of time, leaving your arsenal empty might not be a wise choice.
So asking for Anton, he's trying to pressure him. His hand does look better if he plays on his own turn. Just a casual in the proof of Fatal.
Alright, pitching away a brand new freeze. Ice Bolt. One Ice Bolt. Alright, at AB3, they will block 3.
No Reefs have maxed Alluvian. So I'm gaining any benefit. benefits from the other.
He can
Spacing.
survive this turn without any damage, but that would also mean that there's nothing left for him
Probably
to
really
roll.
on the back foot.
Yeah.
Stick damage. Damage. Pretty easy. That's
Yep.
the wounded.
I would say now the tempo is on Chu Heng's side. With Reef is within kill.
The game will end in the next 2 turns.
Okay, finally pitching away the Generic Vision.
So he's taking the damage for.
Okay, pass it back to a wooden bull again. 7.
No arsenal. He forces him to have a no arsenal. No arsenal.
It is. This is an awkward situation because that's where Iyslander can show her true power.
No arsenal. Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
there's a handshake.
Yeah.
There's
there were three instances.
Oh my, there's only a brother in arm that can block.
My God,
that was pretty sad. That was pretty sad.
I'm so sorry.
Any words to add? Will this be the norm for Iyslander?
Like I said, probably we see minor tweaks. These decks are very professional. These decks are very competitive. Maybe we'll see a bit of fire breathing. I have no idea. And things like people will be looking at their cards now to see which are the cards that reads when you have lesser health than your opponent. Because most of the time, going to most matchup, other than the mirror, you do have lower health than your opponent when you're going first. Yeah. So this may be something that we are looking out for.
How much will you value Scar for Scar in decks like this?
I don't see. I mean, Chewing's deck do not run Scar for Scar, and for good reason. Because if you want to play a Scar for Scar, you're looking at probably a 3-card deck. And if you do want to arsenal something, you're looking to play it with 4-card hand. And with if you want to play a 4-card hand on your turn, it probably means you have to take some damage coming from that. So I do not believe Scar for Scar is the most ideal choices. I think maybe you can look at a 3-card hand. Typical, Wounded Bull, 2-card, and something to arsenal. That's probably something optimal that you want to have. So I foresee people taking out Scar for Scar.
Yep, that makes sense. All right, so there you go. That's one of our quarterfinals, and Chu Heng smoothly cruised into the semifinals with 13 wins and 0 loss at the moment.
Easy life.
Pretty easy life until the next match. All right, so stay tuned for our next video. We'll be showcasing the semifinals, and let me have one teaser. The semifinals that we will be presenting will be a Dash going against a Bravo. All right, so stay tuned for that video coming up.